Welcome to Gamepad Saga Podcast. I'm Eric.
Kishion.
How you doing, brother?
Doing well. Doing well.
Good. Glad you're doing well. In today's episode, we are going to talk about the Hitman video game series. So,
Very good series.
it is. May contain spoilers. So, if you haven't played any of them, I suggest you go do that now.
I highly suggest that as well.
And now a word from our sponsor.
You know what, brother? I'm going to invest in Don Pepe X.
Don Pepe X, what is that?
Don Pepe X is the next AI trading revolution in crypto.
Crypto. Huh. I guess that is the wave of the future, huh?
Yes. You know what Don Pepe X is?
No, what is Don Pepe?
Don Pepe X is an advanced AI trading agent powered by Satoshi's Mind AI and is built on the Virtuals protocol, a next-gen AI blockchain ecosystem running on Base Chain, the Layer 2 blockchain developed by Coinbase and secured by Ethereum.
What makes Don Pepe X so different compared to the other crypto competitors out there?
Well, great that you asked that. AI-powered trading intelligence is one of the things Don Pepe X has. Also, base chain security, transparent and safe, high growth potential, and also premier AI agent.
And why should we use them now?
The AI agent narrative is the hottest trend in crypto right now, and Don Pepe X is positioned to be the leader in this space.
Oh, that sounds very promising. I'm going to have to check them out.
Yeah, man. If you want to be ahead of the curve, Don Pepe X is the AI-powered edge in the financial market.
All right. And where can I get additional information?
You can get it from Don Pepe's Twitter page. We'll have the link in the description below.
Perfect. I'm heading right there now. So Hitman is a stealth game that is developed by IO Interactive. Over the years, the series have seen Hitman games published under Eidos Interactive, Square Enix, Warner Brothers Games, and Faro Interactive. So what was the first Hitman game that you encountered?
Hitman 2 Silent Assassin.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember Ree brought it home one day.
Did he?
Yeah. So we were playing this, and I was watching him play it, and what intrigued me the most, and it sounds real messed up too. So what intrigued me the most was I think 47, which is the main character.
Mm-hmm.
He was hiding out at some church or something like that. One of the priests took him in. He was like, oh, well, obviously change your life, blah, blah, blah. And some mercenaries found where 47 was.
Yeah, the beginning of the game.
Yeah, you go back if you ever seen that clip. They kidnapped the priest, and the priest was like, "Hey, just like putting up a fight, whatever." And then all of a sudden, you just see this man give him a swift gut check. I don't know why that was so funny. I think it was just the way it happened.
Yeah,
like the way the animation was. It was pretty funny. But I mean, Hitman's kind of known for their like ragdoll animation, their weird stuff. But yeah, that was the first one I played, and I've been playing them ever since then. So I played the ones after that. So I don't think I've actually played the first one really.
Mm-hmm. Well, the first one was on PC. Yeah, same here. I think that's why we didn't originally encounter it.
Yeah, in 2000 we had a PC then. That was when we were supposed to die.
Yes.
Y2K, baby. Y2K. The computer's supposed to take over everything.
Well,
literally they are now. Yeah. So, welcome.
Skynet. Yeah.
Sky Mall.
So, a little backstory on Agent 47. This all started with Dr. Ortmeyer. He had services, or he was in the French Foreign Legion, and he decided he wanted to do genetic experiments on people.
What sicko.
So he created a mental institution to hide what he actually wanted to do. So he was able to obtain funding from his buddies who were either, they were crime lords or terrorists. And then Ortmeyer's side of the agreement was for him to provide his buddies with organs that came from the clones that he created.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he was a clone.
Mm-hmm. Kind of a messed up business going on, but,
So who was the original? So, do you play as the original clone?
Yeah.
Or the original person?
Original. Agent 47, yes.
Okay.
This will not only extend the life of his friends, but would also keep them looking younger with their younger organs, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose.
Ortmeyer wanted to create the perfect assassin. He not only used his DNA, but he also used his buddy's DNA, which included Arkadaj. I hope he gets these names right.
Who?
Arkadij, Arkadij, Jegorov, Pablo Ocha, Franz Folks, and Lee Hong. Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Lee motherfucking Hong, baby. Woo!
So the first game in the series is called Hitman Codename 47. It was exclusively for Windows, published by Eidos, and released on November 19th, 2000 in the US of A. So you control Agent 47, who is a trained assassin. You know, he is a genetically modified, or I guess enhanced human clone, you could say. And he's voiced by David Bateson, very iconic. And he plays or does the voice in all of the Hitman games. So the game doesn't give you any choice, and you are thrown into the tutorial right away. Game set in 99. You wake up sanatorium, and someone is shouting over like a loudspeaker, giving you directions as far as what to do. I recently picked this up on Steam. It was fun trying to map the controllers.
I'm sure it was.
I was like, oh, okay.
I wouldn't even bother. The first one. The first game, I've seen it before. I'm like, oh, hell no, I wouldn't do that.
What? What's wrong with it?
It just looks so outdated to me. It just looks so outdated.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. I don't think you know what? I'll try it. Fuck it.
It's worth a
try.
It. I think it's in the library.
Okay. I'll give it a whirl.
It's worth a try. But, yeah, he gave me directions of the loudspeaker, how to navigate the room. You know, like I said, I recently picked it up, so I haven't got too far yet. I'm still trying to make my way through. But yeah.
So you still doing the first one right now?
Yeah.
So I would say, I would ask, what's your favorite part about the first one? Or is it too primitive for you?
No, I mean, like I said, I'm still in the tutorial portion. The fun part was mapping the controller buttons.
Okay.
But for me, it doesn't really, a little clunky for me.
Yeah. It's just too primitive right now.
Aim and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too primitive. It's like, I don't know.
So I did have this thought, sidestepping, off subject a little bit here, of how I've seen few content creators give crap about older games. Specifically, this one was talking about Grand Theft Auto. And he was like, oh, Grand Theft Auto 3 is horrible.
Excuse me?
Yeah. He's like, oh, this is the worst game. It was nothing like the recent ones. Mind you, he's probably like in his 25, 30s. But I was like...
No, that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse.
No, I was upset. Because I was like, how are you going to call the game out like that? Because you got to crawl before you walk.
Right. But that's still not an excuse. If he's like between 25 and 30,
yeah,
that's like kind of in our realm. Now, I can understand if he was like 18 and 22.
Yeah. No, it's a little different. 25. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's a dirtbag. He's a dirtbag for sure.
So I was like, hold up, you gotta crawl before you walk, but don't be shitting on Grand Theft Auto 3.
Yeah, right. Right. Who was this man?
I don't remember the name. We blocked it out.
See, no. See, you trying to gatekeep me from going ahead and antagonizing this man going in the comments. Oh, yeah? Meet me at the bike racks, you son of a bitch. You will talk about Grand Theft Auto 3 like that.
Right. No, but yeah, aiming, walking around. But yeah.
So overall, what do you think about it so far?
I enjoy it. So far, so good.
Okay. What's your difficulty level you think of the game?
Oh, I put that shit on easy.
Oh, well, I mean, is it still hard? Because I heard that was a pretty hard game. The first one is.
I mean.
Yes and no?
I mean, if the controls weren't like difficult.
That's why I just stay away from it. Just stay away from it. Like, let's go ahead and watch a YouTube video.
It still has a difficulty level. I think because I stayed away from playing them for a while. One, for the difficulty levels. Two, I'm more of a going in, guns blazing, not trying to be stealth and hide bodies. But eventually I came around. And
oh, yeah. It's a lot of... With those ones, I would say before we even get to the newer ones, I know the older ones were more linear when it comes to certain things, especially like when you're trying to dispose of bodies and stuff like that. It was kind of like you didn't really have a lot of pathways that I've realized when I was playing the second one. The second one was hard as shit. When you get to the second one, good luck, because I barely got out of that. All I did was enjoy the man get punched in the stomach and then get stuffed in the car. And then I think it was like the first level, like you came out of the sewers and you could use the sewers to like travel and stuff like that. But yeah, that game took forever. I mean, especially that level, and I don't think I've ever beaten it. So Hitman 2 was my bane of my existence, that's for sure. But yeah, I have no recollection of Hitman 1 whatsoever. But, so you haven't played Hitman 2 yet?
No, I did. I started it.
So you saw the part I was talking about there.
Yeah.
Punched him in the gut. just didn't even rear back. It was just more of like just a...
I think that's where I saw it as well as my first introduction to the Hitman series.
Okay.
Like I said, brought it home. I probably, tried to play. I was like, man, this shit's hard as fuck.
Yeah.
And just stayed away.
Yeah.
But they do improve over the years.
Oh, they do. Yeah. They really do. I agree with that. I agree with that sentiment. I think the next one.
Well, Hitman 2 Silent Assassins came out on Xbox.
Yeah.
Windows, PS2. October 1st of 2002. It did make its way to the GameCube on June 17th of 2003.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was on the GameCube.
Either did I. I was like, what?
Okay.
And then they did have like an HD release in 2013.
Oh, for the trilogy, correct?
Yeah. And that's when like Warner Brothers comes in because they were like, hey, I want to return on my investment. So let's re-release these games.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how I felt about that one. That was 1, 2 in Contracts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Contracts, I believe, was it was like kind of, huh?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, Contracts was like, so it was the third game in the entry. I believe it came out in 2004, something like that.
Yes. April 20th, 2004, released for the PS2, Windows, and Xbox.
And it was more of like the best, like greatest, I would say, quote unquote, greatest hits of the missions between 1 and 2, correct?
Well, not so much 2. Actually, half the game is Codename 47.
So wait. So half the game was actually the first one?
Yeah.
So what's the second half of the game?
Just new stuff that they came up with.
So it was basically a retelling?
Yeah, a retelling and also introducing people who weren't aware of the first game that was on PC. So that's why they moved the console so they can grow the audience, I guess you could say.
Interesting. Okay. Did not know that. And I'm guessing obviously, I remember playing that one, and it was a bit smoother than Hitman 2 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't play it very long either. But I will say I spent a lot of time with Blood Money.
Did you?
Yes, 2006. I believe Hitman Blood Money. I remember I was rocking that bad boy on the original Xbox. I know it came out for both original Xbox, PS2, and 360. Did it come out for PS3?
Yes. Blood Money, yes.
Okay. Now, if only Steve were here. So there was a thing that we would do. So there was a specific level where you had to get one of the agents out of this psych ward or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember why he was in there or something like that. I can't remember. But you go through the door, and then at the beginning of it, there's a nurse that's a receptionist that's sitting right there, right? So you can like climb through you can literally climb through the little window.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, "Oh my God." So, so we're fooling around playing the game, climb through the window, right? Or climb through the little square thing. And she's like, "Oh my God." Just headbutted her. Just straight up headbutted her. What son? What son?
Oh
just
my
like
gosh.
just beat her down and stuff. So what son was kind of the thing that we did in that game. Like, what son? What son? What son? Man, we were, me and Steve were a menace in that game. But yeah, I played a lot of Blood Money.
Yeah.
A lot. That was probably, I would say, out of all the Hitmen, I would say that one was by far my favorite, because the layout of the levels were so much better. I think it was a different company that did that, right? Or was it the same? Was it still IO Interactive at that point?
Well,
Warner Brothers.
Well, IO developed all the games.
Okay.
But they went through different publishers throughout their releases.
But yeah, Blood Money, man, so many memories with that. That game had some pretty iconic missions too. Like the one in, what's that? On Bourbon Street, when you had to find the crows, the people in the crow costumes.
Did I do that one?
It was like maybe the second, there's like the third or fourth mission in there.
Yeah, I just remember the last one because. Go ahead and you finish.
Oh, the last one?
Requiem.
Yeah, that was such a great one, man.
I think. Did you wake me up? I think I don't know. Some reason I have this vision that you woke me up one night. That you made it there, or you had to show me.
I think I did. Yeah, I think I did.
I was like,
because it was it was. I don't know. To me, it was a really iconic. It was
awesome.
Yeah, it was a really iconic like spot. I'm like,
it was. I forgot the name of the soundtrack or the song rather.
Ave Maria.
Yeah.
Ave Maria. Oh, my neck.
But you have to wake up Agent 47 because
you faked his death. I think he took like a death pill or something like that.
I think
kind of like slowed down his heartbeat.
Burnwood gave him something. Yes.
Oh no, you got.
No, she did.
She gave you a syringe. Yeah. She gave you a syringe, and you were like, "Nah, fuck."
Because she had to show, I guess, someone that she was double crossing him or something.
Yeah.
But then
he's like, "Oh, you dirty son of a," and then he's like out.
So they wanted like a witness scene. Or people to witness that they're gonna bury 47, cremate him. But then, I forget the guy's name that was in the wheelchair.
Oh yeah, that was. I felt so bad. I felt so bad, man, because you got to plow through all the people that are shooting at you and stuff like that. And then,
before some reason they turn him around. He's not facing 47, but Diana gives Agent 47 his ballers.
Yeah, puts him on his chest and gives him a kiss because there was something on her lipstick
to activate. Yeah. And then, I forget how long you could wait before you had to wake up.
Oh, you could have went for the whole credits before you woke up, or you could wake up like during the credits, or like before even the credits start.
But then you had to hop up and just blow everyone away.
Just man, as many times. Blood Money was probably, I would say, my favorite one.
Okay.
My favorite one out of all of them. But yeah, I felt so bad because it's like you went through everything, and then you saw that you sometimes if you got him quick enough, like you can leave the church and you see that man off in the distance, like trying to get to the gate.
I gotta go back and play that.
And he's like, the man's like he's a quote paraplegic, so he can't do nothing. And you just take your sweet time walking up to him. And just blow his head off.
Yes.
But
the game can be dark at times.
Yeah, the Hitman is a real dark game. I'll tell you that. I think going back on Contracts. I think it was. It kind of was it Contracts or was it Blood Money? They kind of go back to where like he started having these like lucid dreams and stuff like that, and he was killing his own. That's Contracts.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
and he was killing like clones of himself. In a mission, I believe. I don't know if it was a lucid dream or if that was actually a mission or something like that. But, just think of like you being you've been cloned, you've been you've gone through stuff and all the rest of the good stuff, but then just to see your like clones of you and you then having to kill them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just kind of a weird, eerie
weird thing to
thing.
do.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to get some water in me.
You're fine.
So yeah, Blood Money, probably the best one, in my opinion anyway. I did play it on multiple consoles. I played it on the 360. I played it on the original Xbox. I will be real with you. I enjoyed it on the original Xbox.
Okay, I agree. I was trying to think if I picked them up on PS4 or PlayStation to an Xbox, but yeah, I picked them all up on Xbox. I just felt, I think I always mention this all the time, the colors that the Xbox provided were just a little bit more vibrant.
Yeah.
And just seemed more enjoyable.
I mean, and we've mentioned it, like you said, Xbox is by far, when it comes to colors, graphics, superior console. That's just what it is. But Blood Money, primo.
Feels good, yeah.
Primo. The next one, we got, I think it was Absolution.
November 20th, 2012 for Windows, PS3, and the 360. This did come to Mac and the PS4 May 15th of 2013 and made its way to the Xbox One January 11th of 2019.
Did not know that. So I will say this. This one was kind of different only because it was a segue. So I think that Ubisoft made this one, correct? Or produced
Ubisoft,
this one?
Square Enix.
Oh, no, Square Enix. Square Enix made this one. So this was almost like a segue to what a particular popular game that came out shortly after that, Splinter Cell Blacklist.
Okay.
The mechanics were very similar. Very similar. I will say Absolution was a really good game. I enjoyed it. It wasn't the Hitman that I expected just because, again, a bit linear, not too hard because I mean, I don't remember beating the game, but I do remember it wasn't so much like a freelancing Hitman game. It was more of like, all right, go through this, kill a couple people, get to this point, kill this person, get to that point, kill this person. Now. Yeah. It was more like each room you got to, you just had to kill somebody. So it was like more of like a rampage type thing. But I mean, you could have definitely still went through the game without killing anybody.
Yeah.
Or being stealthy.
Yeah.
But it was like like I said, shortly after that, Splinter Cell Blacklist came out in identical. Very identical.
That makes sense.
With the
same company made them, right?
No, Ubisoft made Blacklist.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah. Okay.
Which, I mean, obviously assets are taken from other companies and stuff like that. And maybe they do something better. I mean, Splinter Cell did a bit better in it because Splinter Cell was a totally different game and it's not a assassin game, but it's still a stealth game. But there was a bit of a mixture there, as opposed to, you being an assassin, you need to like be discreet. You know what I mean? And you can still be discreet, but just not, the game itself just doesn't allow it too much. There's not very many times where you could just fully be discreet. I think it kind of puts you in a rock and a hard place sometimes where you just have to go guns blazing and stuff like that. That's just my experience with it anyway.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad though. It was a really nice take on it, but not what I expected from a Hitman game for sure. And then obviously they went through a huge hiatus after that, like 4 years, something like that, 3 years.
It was kind of more of a soft reboot, I guess you could say, because with Absolution they have you kill Diana, but then with Hitman 2016, as I call it, Hitman 1 or whatever you want to call it, but they rebooted the series, brought back Diana, and now they're released on March 11th, 2016 for the PS4, Windows, Xbox One, and even Stadia.
Oh God, Stadia! Don't get me started. Oh, hey, so before we go into 2016. Going back to Hitman Absolution, what did you think about the story?
Well, at the time I played it, I thought it was weird.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but now I'm going back through them, and I guess more of understanding of whatever they were trying to do.
You know, it was maybe it was kind of like, you know, like you said, they rebooted it in 2016, but maybe it was kind of like a beginning of the end for 47 if it were to end at that note.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I just don't think the story fit him as a character. You know, and I know, like, there were points where, like, you know, he's questioning his, you know, his existence, all the rest of that good stuff. And then, you know, they made it so where he, like, his sole purpose was to protect this girl, right?
Yeah.
Was it supposed to be Diana's daughter or something like that? Right?
She was another clone, like another assassin
of 47.
That they created. He went to go protect her.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I don't really. I don't know. I just never really cared for that. Now, if it was something dealing with maybe Diana herself, you know what I mean? That's one thing. Like, people got to hit out on Diana because, I mean, they've worked closely together. That's one thing, because, you know, now you got somebody who's basically the oracle of what you're trying to do, or the things that she's depicted. Like, okay, this person needs to go, that person needs to go, that person needs to go.
Yeah.
And it's now to a point where if roles were flipped now, like, oh, now my leader's getting targeted, it'd be a different story for me, and it would be more intriguing. But the whole clone thing, like, they didn't really touch too much on it in previous games.
No. Just besides what? The first one?
Yeah. And
he hunts down his Ortmeyer.
Yeah.
And they kind of leave a lot to that.
Yeah. And then
besides hunting down the other ones that contributed their DNA.
Right. Right. But I mean, the clones themselves, like, you would think like maybe a couple of them would have a personality, right? And then, so now you got to figure out, like, oh shit, now if you, like, spread it throughout, like, a few games, that'd be a little different. But they didn't really touch on it. And then Absolution came, and then now you just have a female clone of you now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That wasn't really executed well, in my opinion. Was not executed pretty well.
Out of nowhere, yeah.
So that was a bit of a different take. But now the 2016, the reboot, as we had mentioned before.
So this, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
No, I'm just saying it kind of started weird because they did the episodic approach.
They did.
So they were like, hey, you can buy levels for X amount, or you can buy the full game. But either way, they're still going to be time gated.
Yeah, 2016. What game came out at that time? 2016. Okay, so nothing came out at that time. I'm thinking of Final Fantasy for a second here.
Oh, okay.
But that was later on in the years.
Yeah, I just think, you know, I guess trying to find their way. How can we? I guess a different version of the battle. Well, not really a battle pass. Wait a minute, they did introduce that. Yeah, because they had like a what was it, contracts mode, where you can go and kill the contract of the week or whatever.
Oh yeah. I guess you would call it like a online, because that was more dealing with, like, how fast you did it or something like that, right? It's more of like an online competitive thing, more or less. But yeah, this one. So the episodes I didn't really care for too much.
Was it because they were, like, kind of all really different? Like, they didn't really tie in with each other?
Well, I mean, if you're talking about, like, a freelance type of, like, this is freelance Hitman. If you're talking about that type of thing, no, I don't think it's because it was just different, because it was. I would feel I felt it was more like it more fit the bill than anything. because you're trying. There's a story behind what's going on, right? And there's different locations. There's different things you can do. There's different routes that you can take.
It's not so much open world, but a sandbox.
Yeah, a smaller sandbox than an open world for sure. I guess semi-open, so to speak. You had ways to customize how your experience was.
Right.
And for them to come out with the episodes, I'm pretty sure what they probably thought it wasn't go anywhere. Right? Because you look at Hitman Absolution, that flopped. Blood Money was pretty popular. And then you had the other ones where they were a bit hard for most people, so a lot of people didn't buy them, right?
Yeah.
Or heard from somebody else, hey, Hitman 2 is kind of hard, man. I don't know if you should buy it. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, but obviously the ease of use in that game was very delightful to enjoy when I first played it. I know they had a free version that came out. You got like that in like the first level. Yeah. But then, episodically, you had to get those. But I think they did it that way because I don't think they thought that this game was going to go anywhere.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. And obviously it picked up. That. And then Hitman, well, we'll go into Hitman 2 in a minute. But, like I said, it just introduced so much that you could do with poisoning and using your environment, all the rest of that good stuff.
Big use of your environment.
Huge use, huge. Oh. And then they introduced like mission reveal stories, so you could approach your targets differently each time. Like you can never play that game the same twice,
right?
You can't. Once it came out that way, and how they introduced how to play it. It just felt so good. It felt the way it felt, the gameplay and all the rest of that good stuff. And we've always talked about this. Gameplay is the number one thing. Doesn't matter what the graphics looks like. I mean, if you're somebody that is so worried about graphics, you're like one of few people. You're one of few people that will look sad in the corner. But if the gameplay is good, that's all people care about.
Yeah, and I even tried to go back and, obviously did the main objectives, but I would go back and try to do the other objectives. The replayability is there. And it's one of the rare games that I guess
that has fun. That still,
to go back and let me switch or let me do my play style or complete the objective differently and see what happens.
Thanks. What? I mean, and I've played, we're going to introduce the other two in just a minute, but I've played all three of them. I own all three of them. And I will say this, in the times that I've played this game, and I'm still through my first playthrough on the first one, because I haven't beaten it yet. From when I started, and I've restarted the game because I haven't played it in so long, so I'm trying to get like the feel of the story down again. I say on average, like my first playthrough on a level, an hour and a half, almost 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because like I'm trying to see patterns. I'm trying to see like where I can go, where I can't go, what disguises go with what. I try to find reveal mission stories if I can, and try to do those. It's just so open.
Yeah.
It's just so like freeing to do things.
Possibilities are endless.
And yeah, it's hard. I mean, it's easy to be on a level for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Easy. For me anyway. But yeah, that's what I averaged for the most part. And I think on the first one, way back when I played it, I got maybe halfway through the game. And so 2 hours, halfway through the game, I think there's quite a few missions in there.
The first one has 6 levels. And then also you had the training facility, but
yeah,
it's just a tutorial.
Right. And what was it? So we got Hitman 2, which was the sequel to 2016. That came out in
2018.
That one was a little different. It had a few extra features in it. nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy. It was pretty much the same game, but the level layout just got better.
Mm-hmm.
The first mission, I believe, you were on the beach and you were going to, take out a target.
Yes.
And you get to the beach house and all the rest of the good stuff. The beach house is laid out nicely. I mean, just the design of that level was just like, okay, you know what? Like I'm already sold on this game. I'm going all in.
Yeah.
That one I still haven't beat yet. But I think that's the only level I've played just because I haven't beaten the first one.
It's fun. That one, I enjoyed the second level, the race. To me, the race one.
Yeah, well, you are the racing guy to us.
But just so much going on just in that one alone.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my God, got to run all the way over here, run all the way over there.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys got to experience it.
Yeah.
It's fun. That one's memorable.
It was because you had the race going on. I think that one of the drivers was a target.
Mm-hmm.
I think the driver's dad or father-in-law, something like that.
Yeah, he was like a tech guy.
Yeah, so on the other side of it, there was some tech auction or production or something like that. It's like, how are you going to have a race and then you got robotics on the other side here, like you killing shit? Like what? That makes no sense. But I mean, it was pretty interesting. You had like a lot going on, so I agree with that. Yeah, I do remember doing that level, but I did that one briefly. I didn't finish that one, but that was an interesting one. Yeah. It was really interesting. But Hitman 2, I think the only feature it really added was like new stuff. I think the hide mechanic was introduced into that one, correct? Or was it in the first one?
Hiding as far as what? Hiding
in foliage and stuff like that.
Well, I think Hitman always had it.
Not as effective as we thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
There'd be times when you'd be hiding in the bush and like on some of the older ones, and they'll just look at you and be like, "Huh? What was that noise? Yeah. Whose footprints are these?" Yeah, like
right. So improving the computer's detection, I guess, system. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, so we had that one, and then the final one, Hitman 3. Which came out, I think it was in 2019, correct?
2021.
2021.
Didn't make its way to the Switch, PS4, PS5.
Hitman 3 did? Made it to the Switch, you said?
Yeah.
No.
Yes. Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S.
Interesting. Hitman 3 made it to the Switch? There's no way. Let me check this out here. Oh my God, it was on the Switch. Oh, it was the cloud version. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm like, I've never seen. You're lying to me.
So yeah, when I was going through all the games trying to determine which ones I played, I realized I didn't play the third one. I was like, what? I couldn't believe it.
Well, I have World Assassin, so yes, it got changed into World Assassin because it has all 3 games on it. But I've been meaning to bring it over, but little brother not doing the right thing and remembering to bring it because he's an idiot.
It's okay. You're not an idiot.
Yeah, well, yeah, there we go.
I thought I had them all, but I got so confused with their little pricing thing that they always have.
But I will say, Hitman 3. Just kind of gives you the full package of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I haven't played. I've yet to touch any of the levels on 3 yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously going back through the first one, finally going to go through the second one, and then finally going to start the third one. However, they do have this kind of like what you were talking about with the contracts on one of the other ones. They have the freelancer mode.
Okay,
and they have like something different each week, like the contract of the week or whatever. And it's actually pretty cool because anything that you leave with, you get added to your inventory, and then you can bring it back into the field again and you never lose it.
Oh.
So it's actually pretty cool. So any guns you come back with and stuff like that, any suits or whatever it is, you add it to your safe house.
To your repertoire.
Yeah. Okay. So you can always use it for certain things or whatever, certain situations for replayability purposes. God, almost didn't say that right. But I tried that out, and it was actually pretty cool. Actually pretty cool. Like, there was one level, I don't remember what it was. I think it was in New York.
Mm-hmm.
I had to take out like 2 people. I actually finished it, but so this is my eye. I'm rubbing my eye because it's itchy.
They're all gonna be like, "What is
So
that?"
juicy. But I will say this, like, this is how like detailed this I mean, the game itself is. So this was in a basement, or not in the parking garage, but like the floor below.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the walls are thick and everything, concrete. I was taking out like 8 or 9 dudes, just like in a straight up gunfight, and nobody heard it. Nobody in the game
It's one
heard
of those games like, hold up, we're in a parking garage, bullets going off, echoing, and no one heard a word.
No one heard that.
Oh my gosh.
Nobody heard that. I'm like, you know what? This is straight up like a movie.
Yeah.
like a movie where like all the stuff happens downstairs and nobody's like batting an eye.
What do you
No
mean
one
you
hears
hear
anything.
this loud crash.
Yeah. Well, so I was like, oh, well, interesting, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that works. But
yeah, it's like one of the levels in Hitman 2, going back to the second one with the race car.
Yeah.
There's a point or an objective where you have to make the car come down of the lift, and it smashes down. It's like, hold on, no one hears this car smashing down on people.
No. They go, well, I'm just going to mind my own business.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go back to my prostitute corner and just make me some money because I don't care.
It's like, do you know all the hoops I had to go through to get me over here?
Right.
And now no one hears nothing.
That's crazy. Yeah, that game, I think, in all seriousness, it's more comical than anything.
Yeah.
With some of the stuff that happens. And the ragdoll effects are, I mean, they've never went away. I mean, in the older games, it was kind of janky on how that ragdoll effects were.
Mm-hmm.
But as the game got better, you know,
they improved.
Yeah, it improved greatly, and you just have funnier moments. Like I remember one time, I just randomly, like, you know how like, you can throw stuff in the later ones. I was just playing it the other night, so I picked up an axe out of the little thingy, and I just randomly just tossed it. Yeah. I just randomly tossed it because I'm like, just being stupid, just cause a distraction. So I was trying to distract somebody. And then all of a sudden around the corner, there was a guy that comes in and just goes, dude, what? It just takes him out. I'm like, I better move. Like now. Yeah. So, yeah, like the stuff that happens in that game is ridiculous. Even, you know what? Going back to Blood Money, one of my favorite levels, besides the Asylum one I was talking about, was the one where you're on that street and you're like Somerville, basically. It's in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
And you have that one guy that you have to take out in the house, and there's a clown and his truck is on the outside.
Yeah.
Oh man, I always take out that clown all the time. All the time. And I walk in as a clown. I do this every time. I take him out, and then I put on his clown suit, and I walk in, and just walk right out.
Oh,
yeah.
I vaguely remember that one. I remember you have to be patient with that one.
Yeah, that one you got to be patient. I was not patient with that one. I had the ballers. I go in there, I just pull one of them out.
Stalking. I remember you had to go to a couple houses because you had to find
the sniper. Because the sniper was stashed in one of the houses.
Okay.
If you equipped it there.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was that. Oh man. Oh, there was the part where at the same level, remember there was the truck, the surveillance truck that was there, and you just like there was somebody that had donuts. There was the donut truck. Yeah, there was a donut truck that was there.
A bunch going on.
Yeah, there was a bunch going on with that one. Then there was a runner.
Yeah.
And so you had to like do stuff discreet, or he would see, like, oh yeah. I was like, you know what? Nah, you're terrible. Like, then so you had to take him out. A lot of times you don't want to because he's doing his thing. Yeah. He's running. You know what I mean? Well, I'll take him out if I got to. But yeah, so what I would do is I put a detonation mine in the donut box.
Yeah.
And then I would leave it out on the thing, and So they'd be like, "Oh, what's this?" And they'll take it in,
Boom.
take it in the thing, and just detonate it. Bam! Like, oh, there goes your surveillance.
Yes.
Now I'm gonna walk in as the clown and clap you one good time and head on up out of there.
Right.
I remember one time I did it so smooth. I shot him and I just walked. I didn't even like move at normal speed. I just walked right out.
Yeah.
Just walked right out. Man, God, now I'm just thinking about like so many things that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
Things that you can do.
well, yeah, that just it was a time. It was a time when things were simple, man.
Yes,
when that game was out,
yeah,
a time when things were simple. Like I think I was still in high school at that time. You know, glitter, yeah. Just like just come home and just play some Hitman.
Yeah,
you know,
knock it out.
Yeah, but I mean, that's all the good times I had on Hitman. And I enjoy the series. I'm hoping they'll come up with more in the near future.
Do. But yeah, I'm going back through them again, see, understand a little more about life, so understand a little more about the story going on. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Do you have anything else, brother?
No, I'm good, man. I got everything. I shared all my memories.
Well, appreciate you guys listening to us. Take care. Look out for the next episode. Peace.
Toodles.
This is Agent 47. Mission complete. The Gamepad Saga Podcast has provided a thorough assessment of my work. Accurate, insightful, unexpected. They understood the silence between the shots, the value of patience, and the elegance of the kill. Impressive. If they were assets, I'd recommend activation. Until then, I remain in the shadows. But I'll be listening. 47.